others said he is like him. And he said, I am he. Then I asked him a question that I always like to use when I'm talking about these. Therefore they said to him, how did your game changed? How? I know you to be trekking. I know you to be living in rented apartment. I know you to be looking for a job. I know you to be failing those courses. I know you to be a dullard. I know you to have come from a very terrible, poor background. I know you to have not written any book. I know that you can't do business. How did you start business? How did you get those plots of land? How did you enter into real estate? What happened? How suddenly you now become an international businessman? Friends, anybody's game can change if you know how to align with instructions. Anybody's game can change. So they asked him that question, how did your game change? For the sake of what we're doing, and look at what he said. He answered and said, a man called Jesus made clay and anointed my eyes and said to me, go to the pool of Siloam and wash. So I went, washed, and I received my sight. Let me explain it in a contemporary way. The book you are reading, the conferences you are attending, the seminars you are going for, pastors you are listening to, friends, workshops, they are all dishing out instructions, nothing else. So the man said, I carried out the instructions. I did what he asked me to do. If you do 20% of the information that you've gotten, if you carry it out, there's no how your game will not change. Tonight, I'll be talking to us tonight on how to decode the code. Decoding the code. The coding the code. We have 2 sessions, and once I'm done, Coding Obame all the way from Abuja is already in town. He'll be joining us soon. We're going to pick him up, and then we'll do the second session. The coding, the code. Code as in C-O-D-E. Decoding as D-E-C-O-D-I-N-G. Decoding the code. Ladies and gentlemen, it might sound somehow to you. Leadership is economic base. If you can lead me from insufficiency to sufficiency, there's no leadership. If the president of a nation cannot pull a nation out of debt into abundance, there's no leadership. It doesn't matter how you explain it. If you cannot take the Israelites out of land of captivity to a place of abundance, there's no leadership. Go and bring them out of a place of penury, of abject poverty. Take them to a land flowing with milk and honey. If you can't lead people to abundance, if you can't lead people to economic boom, if you can't lead people to a certain measure of comfort, there is no leadership. If where I was seems better than where you're taking me to, there's no leadership. Leadership is economic base. In the contemporary world, in organizations, people lose their jobs because a top manager has not been able to lead an organization into high level of profitability. Leadership is economic base. Leadership is economic base. I want you to pay close attention to that. Leadership is not a religious economic well-being. Where are you leading people to? Secondly, where are you leading yourself to? How do we now start appropriating the game changer? I think from the 19th century to the 20th century, there have been a lot of disruption. From the 20th to the 21st century, there have been a lot of disruption. Now, something happened. If you check what is happening in our world, the AI, the VR, the IoT, that's artificial intelligence, the virtual reality, and of course, the Internet of Things, all right? When you look at those 3 things, they have shaped and altered and disrupted things. If you don't know how to disrupt things, you won't change game. If you don't know how to disrupt things, you will never change game. So during the days of introduction of Internet of Things, the days of, now I don't know how to say it, but the truth of the matter is that they are beginning to introduce artificial intelligence to everything. Virtually everything. There's artificial intelligence in the houses that we're building. They're introducing it to refrigerator. They're introducing it to fan. They're introducing it to lightning. They're introducing it to virtually everything. So the disruption is still on. And those that are causing the disruption are now having a game-changing experience. You can't cause a positive and a strong disruption without taking the center stage. So the question I should ask you, is there any disruption that is coming through your life? Or are you maintaining the status quo? Nobody changes his or her game by maintaining the status quo. You must be a disruptor. If you don't know how to disrupt what is happening, you're not going to change any game. So I had to do this briefly for you to understand that for you to experience these things, you must learn how to disrupt. You must not come with the conventional. You must not play the ostrich game. You must know how to disrupt things. So men that have caused the disruption, like Jeff, like Mark, like Steve, like Bill Gates, all of them, they are at their peak level, and their game has automatically changed. Of course, we had the story of Mark Zuckerberg. We've had a lot of things about him. So he disrupted how people socialize. And people can stay in the comfort of their home, and real socialization is going on. Strong socialization. People can stay in the comfort of their home. They are connected to people, and it looks so real. And by the time you decided to see yourself, it looks as if you've been getting along with each other. It was a massive disruption. And before you know what is happening, it floated to the top. So you are going to find out some key things, because I cited this instance just to let us know. If you don't know how to disrupt, if you don't know how to disrupt games, you cannot be a game changer. If you don't know how to disrupt life, if you don't know how to disrupt values, you won't be a game changer. So that let me know one thing. Normal or average players cannot change games. Normal and average players, normal people living by, the norm, you can't change your game. So let's find out. Matthew 25, 24 and 25 Amplified version. I'll show you 4 key things that will help you this evening. Then I will round up by unveiling how to decode the code. Amplified version, Matthew chapter 25, verse 14, 24 and 25. Please, everybody, listen. The servant given 1 talent or 1,000 said, Master, I know you have 24, please. Not Amplified. Message Bible, sorry, please. Message Bible. The message translation, please. Thank you. The servant given 1 talent said, Master, I know you have high standard. Write the word high standard. Write the word high standard. And you hate careless ways. Write the word carelessness. And he said that you demand the best. Write the word demanding the best. And the 4th one is you make no allowances for error. Write the word no allowance for error. "25. I was afraid I might disappoint you, so I found a good hiding place and secured your money. Here it is, safe, sound, down to the last cent." Take note of these 4 important things that I will be demystifying briefly. First, he said, you set high standard. Question, I ask a lot of questions. What's the standard you've set for yourself? How high is that standard? How low is that standard? Ladies and gentlemen, we are in a financial conference and a leadership conference. What's the amount of money you want to make in the year 2023? How much is that amount? How much Write it down. Write it down and then look at it and tell yourself of a truth. Is it high or is it low? I know you've set high standard. For those of us that are conversant with me, my standard is too high financially that it keeps me on my toes. There is nothing I've gotten in this life that have made me feel as if I've achieved anything. No way. High standard. Let me share something with us. Before Cristiano Ronaldo emerged as one of the best players in the world, it was recorded in Manchester United while he was still there, when he was still a teenager before he got into this age. It was known that when he comes for training, that was the standard he set for himself. He comes for training before anybody. And he leaves as the last person. That was a standard. And he said, nobody will beat me to this game. You don't change a game by setting low standard. How many books have you set out to read in a month? How many trainings have you set out to go for in a month? How much do you intend to make monthly? How much do you intend to make? What's your standard? What's your standard of relationship? High standard. Men of low standard can't change any game. What's your standard? In terms of appearance, what's your standard? In terms of relationship, I'm not talking about class here, but I'm talking about the standard you've set for yourself. How high is your standard? And over the years, between 2008 to 2023, because he set a high standard for himself, he has been able to maintain his game at the top level. And he's still a game changer till now, even gearing towards retirement. He played in the same game with Ole Solskjaer, the ex-coach of Manchester United. And later on, the man reached, and he was still playing at the top level. What's the standard? People that don't have high standard can't change game. You can't. You can't. You can't change game. I was, elected as what I call a group leader in Daystar Christian Center. That's what we call cell meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, I grew the cell from 7 to 8 people. There are other cell leaders, many cell leaders in our zone. I grew it from 7 within a space of 4 months to about 200 and something. They picked me from being a cell leader. They catapulted me to the peak and made me an area coordinator. And I was on the verge of moving from area coordinator to becoming a zonal leader, according to the cadre of Daystar Christian Center. And at that area coordinatorship level, I was relating with all the top pastors. On my wedding day, at area coordinatorship level, it is either zonal coordinator that will conduct your wedding, or they will get zonal coordinators, other zonal coordinators. All the senior pastors in Daystar Christian Center, or the only person that didn't come for my wedding was Sam Adeyemi, because he was not around. All of them, they said, it's not as if he has gotten there, but his result have taken him there. Set high standard. Up to this moment, the standard I set for myself hasn't allowed me to have a breath of fresh air, as if I'm anywhere, no way. Set high standard. In budgeting, we talk about expenses and income. How much do you want to spend? How much do you want to make? Set high standard. One of our resource person, a very close friend of mine, very close. He is the biggest real estate mogul in the city of Port Harcourt. That's Bamboo. And we were talking. He said to me, Pastor Casey, we're good friends. I think they've gone to pick him from the airport. It's interesting to know they canceled his flight automatically. We booked his flight to and fro, and the airline, I don't want to mention their name, they canceled his flight. He was at the airport, and he said to me, "Do you receive any mail?" I said, "No." He said they sent you a mail, right? I said, "How can they cancel a flight now?" I said, "Okay, you know what? Check any available airline that is going right now. It doesn't matter. I won't tell you how much we paid. Some of us were there. I just sat down there. I transferred the money to him. I said, 'Sir.' He said, no, don't bother. I'll take care of it." I said, no. You know what he said to me? He said, this is one of the reasons why I'm so close to you. You go for what you want. It doesn't matter the cost. So the meeting is not about you paying or you not paying. You didn't pay anything. So by the time he dominated Port Harcourt in 8 years, Bamboo Group, as the biggest real estate company, you know what he did? He said, I don't like playing where I have dominance. 2 months ago, he left the city of Port Harcourt and he started as an underdog in Abuja, paid for office space, 32 million, and took a skyscraper, the last floor, and put a billboard, very conspicuous, Bamboo Group, that everyone that comes into Abuja, you will think is his building. And I said, why will you rent such a structure? It's interesting to know. I will make a statement that will surprise you. He doesn't have a car. The biggest realtor in the city of Port Harcourt. He said to me, what will give me a sense of luxury is when I achieve a certain measure of result. He said, the standard I set for myself, I've not gotten there. So when I get there, I can buy a car and smile and drive it. You relax too soon because your standard is too low. You arrive too soon. Especially in this part of the world, you feel so comfortable. Every little measure of result, you feel you've gotten something. It gives you that sense. And friends, he rented a house of 2 million. Up to this moment, Bamboo doesn't have his own house. He's building houses, he's selling, and he's amassing wealth in tons of billions. And most of the wealth he has gotten is not in a liquid form. All of them are in property form. Simply because you got 5 million naira, nobody's hearing word. Why? Your standard is too low. Set high standard, friends. Ask somebody by your side, how high is your standard? Tell another person, game changer, set high standard. Number 2, they hate carelessness. They hate carelessness. They hate carelessness. There is no careless approach to life. There is no, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just whiling away time. No. There is no careless dressing. Opportunity can locate them at any time. Our resource person that is coming from Ghana, Kofi Annan, and he's a Ghanaian, and we're having a conversation yesterday, a very strong conversation because he's doing phenomenal work in the city in Ghana. Amazing work. And while we were having that conversation, a call came in. I said, okay, there's a call that came in. They have a strong relationship with the governor, and let me pick up the call, and I'll call you back. And while I was in that call, it was a very long call. And the person said to me, can they see Kofi when he comes? I said, yes. He said, because the governor's wife wants to do something, empower women in tech, another thing. I said, how many people? They said, 1,000 people. And they're going to negotiate the price, another thing, and then give Kofi the job. But initially, they were not considering Kofi. But they only said to me one thing. He said, can I get an IT person that can teach them practically? When opportunities are showing up, they don't consider people that are there. They don't consider them. They don't even remember them. And I told this woman, I said, the young man will handle the job. And immediately when we were through with the discussion, I called Kofi. I said, this is the opportunity. He said, wow. I will only recommend you because we've been on this track. Hate carelessness. It doesn't allow you to get to the peak. Hate it. If you approach around my space anyhow, one of the things that anybody that knows me knows I'm good in, I will caution you for your dressing. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? The reason why I'm saying that is opportunity. If opportunity locates you now, will you tell them you are going home to change? I always ask myself, sometimes, if opportunity comes now, it doesn't matter the level of that opportunity, will I go home or will I go from here? Joseph appeared in the palace. He didn't say, let me go and change. And that was the last time. He didn't go back. Some things will not wait for you to go back. Live a prepared life. Live a prepared life. That's what makes a game changer. Live a prepared life. Number 3, demand the best. Demand the best. Nothing short of the best. Everybody has his or her own best at their own level. Demand the best. Demand the best. In all sincerity, I was meant to be in Afia TV this morning. And I was in Afia TV 2 days ago. I was meant to be in Afia TV this morning. And I told them, I said, I'm caught up with some. They've already done the publicity. I said, I'm not going to make it. Now, I go to Afia TV to discuss leadership and business or economic matters. Sometimes they will migrate the discussion into politics. And I will sit down and I will discuss intelligently. Coming to that. So, they said I should be there by 9 o'clock. Around a few minutes past 9, 4 minutes past 9, they called me and they said that the audience, they publicized that Dr. Casey Richard is coming. Dr. Casey, what are you going to do? I said, tell them I couldn't make it. I have some things that I'm doing. Sometimes, you need to discuss a little bit, all right? You need to discuss. You need to discuss. I don't want to talk about that, so that we're not going to another thing. So, they said, where are you, sir? I said, I'm in my office. He said, can we set up a Zoom meeting? He said, audience are waiting. I said, we could not discuss the thing there. And he said, I beg. Just put mouth. So I went into my office. They set up a Zoom meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't talk up to 2 minutes or 3 max. That was a 30 minutes meeting. I didn't talk up to 2 or 3 minutes. Listen. Whatever you want to do, demand the best. And I'm coming back to that. So after talking for like 2-3 minutes, I started receiving text messages. What did I say? Fuel is 617 naira per liter. 617 naira per liter from 530 or thereabout. Within few days, it has moved to 670. I said, Nigerians should be conversant with